guys. This is the first inaugural episode of The Hype Train. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. My name is Brandon, and then I have Jeff.
Hello.
And Nixon here.
Hello.
We're going to talk about nerdy shit.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm sorry. I lured you here under false pretenses of belly dances and...
I thought this was about model trains.
It could... No! Yeah, we're going to talk about the what is it?
We're going to talk about Euro Train Simulator for the next 45 minutes. I just shelled out $4,000 for all the DLC. Let's take a look.
We're going to talk about the evolution of trains through American history.
Cool.
Yeah. No, we're going to talk about video games and stuff that we actually like to talk about.
We're hyped up about it.
I mean, you guys might like trains.
No offense to trains.
I'm sorry if you like trains.
We just took a turn into Celebration Station and we're climbing aboard the hype train.
Oh my god. All right, well, anyway, thank you guys for listening, at least. We want to talk about stuff that's going to... Basically, the way the show's going to work is we're going to talk about stuff that's coming out in the future that we're pretty excited about. And then towards the middle of the show, we'll talk about stuff that we are currently playing and the stuff that we like. And then towards the end, we'll talk about rumor, speculation, anything else. If we don't have anything there to talk about, we'll just end it. You know?
Just end it all.
Yeah. Just one right to the head, you know what I'm saying? First off, I know that here in the next, week or two, there's going to be some pretty big games that are coming out. I don't know if you guys are, but God of War is huge. People really like that.
That one's kind of snuck up on me. I didn't realize it was so soon until, I checked the date yesterday.
Fucking 420, bro.
That's true. There's a couple things going on in 420, actually. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the God of War is the first one, because I have no idea the story of it or anything like that. I've seen, the combat, which looks amazing.
Yeah.
The graphics, of course, look amazing.
Weapons look really cool, for sure.
Well, it's what's really interesting about it for me is it just seems like it's going to be a lot more of a, all the other God of Wars have been from a fixed camera perspective. So it's you coming into a combat situation. Yeah, you're going at it at an epic scale and climbing up Kronos and pulling out his fingernail and all that stuff. But with this one, it just seems like it's going to be not only a lot more personal of a perspective for Kratos, but the actual story of it is going to be a lot more personal. For him.
It's a third person over the shoulder rather than you said, a fixed camera.
Right.
Where you see him running around in a room, whereas this time you're right with him running around this room, kind of thing.
But it's hopefully it'll be not only a closer perspective for combat and stuff, but a closer perspective on what it is to be this dude that got he had to butcher the god that killed his family and then subsequently learned that he was a half-god and went around murdering the rest of his godly family. That should be interesting.
Yeah, I only played 1 and 2. I never got to 3. 4 seems like a different enough take that I might just jump in without even going back and playing those.
Yeah. Just
because of the new style it's got going for it. So
I wonder if you're going to be able to do that, though. That's my question.
Oh, if the other ones will be necessary?
Yeah, because... The previous trilogy, or 5 I think there was 2 on PSP, I think, or something like that.
I played 1 on the PSP.
But, they were all, there's a story, and there was a sequential story that happened. This one seems like it's a whole new area, a whole new storyline, a whole new Kratos, basically. He's not he doesn't seem like he's some vengeful, angry dude just going around killing stuff at this point. It seems like he has more of a reason.
I think a lot of it is, it's less of him, being this super anger monster and more of, because they show it in the trailers that he has a new wife and you're going through the game with his son, so potentially that's going to be his driving factor is not some overwhelming sense of rage from this God of War, but this man that is he's actively trying to not only, take out the bad guy of the campaign, but show his son how to, be man.
Or I guess maybe hopefully not have his son turn out as angry as he did, kind of thing. Because, I mean, like, just for me, looking at this... We're watching a trailer for it because I'm inept and haven't watched anything on it, but the trailer for it, the combat, and like him throwing that axe around and pulling it back to him and catching it and whipping it back around, like, that's pretty awesome.
What's really interesting about it, too, is like the Blades of Chaos, his major weapons, like, I feel like it's in the first game... Those got like bonded to his soul.
Yeah.
And those are like apparently that still is the case. That's why he has like his forearms are wrapped in bandages. And like you can see it in certain parts of the gameplay. Like if the character starts acting angry, the bandages will start like steam will start coming up from around them.
Interesting.
So it's potentially the Blades of Chaos will come back, but like that might be part of his character. He has actively refused that aspect of his life.
Probably. Yeah, I mean...
Which makes me think it won't be brought up that much, enough to where if you didn't play the other ones, it might not matter.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about it, too, is because they're introducing this character of his son, and, you know, I don't know everything about what my parents did when they were my age, but you can vicariously learn the story through his son of, like, how do you know what it's like to... You know, kill an ogre or something. Yeah. Kratos can explain.
How do you know how to kill a god? Basically,
because they asked that in the trailer. Yeah.
No, I mean, and that's true. I didn't think of that aspect because, like I said, I didn't even know. But like you said, being able to just learn it vicariously through the people, through them telling it, because I doubt that they expect people to go back and play, you know, the original 3. As much as I'm sure there's people who will. Right. I'm a person like that who will do stuff like that, but. For people who don't have the free time to do that, just even something as simple as adding like a summary, like in the main menu, you know, like, oh, you can choose a summary option. It tells you what happened up to this point. I really wish more games would have stuff like that. I'm not saying this will. I don't know. I'm just saying I really wish that games had stuff like that because as somebody who missed out on a huge part of some of these games,
I would be shocked if in the new God of War they didn't have some form of like before the game actually starts to play out, they show you some stuff.
Like in the intro cutscene kind of thing.
Or they would have it you start off, you're kind of confused on what happens, and then eventually during the course of gameplay you play out. Like scenes or something.
I think it would be awesome if they did it like since he was what gods was it he was fighting before?
The Greeks.
The
Greek gods, yeah.
Well, Greek/Roman.
Well, it'd be awesome if they had like a tapestry, like Hercules, a la Hercules from the 90s, you know.
Well, that's actually...
Or like it showed his story through it, and like that, they like, as it's panning over all of it, they're explaining his backstory.
Well, that's actually, the designers of the game, they talked about how there actually is, and this is true of like actual Norse mythology and Greek mythology, there is like a recorded mythological moment where the Greek gods met foreign gods, and the Norse gods met foreign gods, and it was in that same like area. So they're using that as a through thread of this is how Kratos kind of. It's a similar thing of this is how Kratos came to the Norse world.
Well, because I mean he has the axe now. He's got like the beard. He looks a lot more. I would say Viking than anything. Yeah. So it's very much stuff like that. But also, there had been rumors around that. They were talking about the God of War series. They're going to keep the God of War series, but they're going to have different protagonists, basically.
Yeah. I think the next one they said they want to do is fighting the Egyptians.
Yeah, like the Egyptian gods. Yeah. Like,
interesting.
Thoughts on that?
Fucking, how awesome would it be to have to fight the Hindu pantheon? Just because there's so many. There's like 1,000 Hindu gods that you could just like fighting Kali. The destroyer of world just fucking.
Well, it's the same thing. Even with like Greek and Roman, I guarantee there's 100 gods that they didn't fight in there. You know, you didn't deal with. But
that's why they had the other like the PSP games.
Yeah.
To introduce more of those.
But I mean, what do you guys think about? You think that's a good idea? Or you think they should try to do something different? Because at this point, they're known for Studio Santa Monica.
I think so.
They're known for God of War. I don't really know off the top of my head. Like I'll look it up. I don't really know off the top of my head what else they've done.
Well, to me, I think Kratos is a pretty tired character at this point. Like, I know even after the second one, I was like, I just wasn't really into Kratos.
Yeah.
So I think keeping that same, like, idea just under a banner of God of War, but with different characters, but you know what you're getting into, which is, like, hack and slash combat. But you can move around the setting and have a little more leeway with who your protagonist is. I think that's pretty smart on the business side, at least, because you can attach it to a name that everybody already knows, but introduce new areas, new characters.
They did Fat Princess. I don't know if you guys ever played that one.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But, they had their hand in Journey. They have their hand in stuff, but, like, the ones that they've internally developed have all been God of War.
Yeah.
Everything else is like, collaboration with this person, blah, blah, blah. Like, them as a studio, they are known, like, you say Santa Monica Studios and you think of God of War, you know?
Well, I mean, that's the same thing that they're doing with, Uncharted series.
Mm-hmm.
They changed up the most recent Uncharted was not Nathan Drake.
No.
The most prolific murderer of all time.
No. Well, I think that one
But
thing...
that was also just DLC. Like,
It was?
yeah.
I thought it was a standalone.
They released it as standalone, but it was originally DLC.
No, well,
it's the Borderlands pre-sequel kind of thing. I feel like it could have been DLC. You know, you could have charged me $30 for DLC kind of thing.
Well, that's the problem with a lot of like games where it's the same franchise, but they decide to go with different characters, like a different main character. Is they always have it like they always ham bone at the player of like, remember Kratos?
Yeah,
remember him?
Remember how cool these characters were? You're playing as somebody not as cool as Kratos now.
Yeah, it would be much cooler if they just approached it as like an anthology type, like where each one is completely on its own from this point on.
Well, that could also be really cool if they had it where like that's if they ended the series. That would explain like why in modern times you don't see the influence of like these mythical creatures and deities and stuff. Is just because
they got killed.
Yeah, they all got killed.
That actually be very cool. Yeah,
humans got so pissed off they killed all of them.
My thing is, so I think this is like the final Kratos game. I think that's what they said. Maybe
that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, that's what they make it seem like. Like this is the one where his story is over. Do you think that he has to die for this series to be like, holy crap, this series was amazing? No.
I feel like it would be a good time to have him die, though. If they were going to do it, I think now would be the time. Like,
I don't want them to pull a Red Dead Redemption kind of thing. Where,
as far as
you have John Marston playing through most of the game. Yeah. And then at a certain point, it was don't get me wrong, in Red Dead it was a beautiful scene where he gets cornered, he gets mowed down by a posse of people that have come after him, and then you finish the rest of the game as his son trying to get an eye for an eye.
Well, isn't it once that game ends, like, because that's like the end of Red Dead.
Yeah.
So like after that, they open it up to where it's like, oh, like now you're his son.
Yeah.
Like, do they have like an actual story after that?
Yeah, there's one or two missions.
Oh, it's been years since I've played this. I don't remember.
They're harder to find. They're like stranger missions that you just have to go.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's been years since I remember. I really liked that aspect of it, that they were like, hey.
The fact that in Red Dead they didn't tell me, hey, there's more to it. So when I became Jack Marston, I just ran off and started robbing and doing terrible Wild West bandit things, and then I find out there's more, and it kind of fit with the story even better. It was pretty great.
Yeah, but, I mean, I hope... I would like for Kratos to have a happy ending. I feel like he kind of deserves it at this point, like, after seeing his evolution through all of these games.
It's just, he's not about that mad life anymore. He's about that dad life,
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, I guess.
Plus, I don't know if they would be able to actually burn him in a Viking funeral, so I don't know how they would dispose of him.
I mean, there's plenty of rad stuff they could do with Northwest
there's tons of awesome stuff.
Because they showed Jormungandr, and they showed tapestries of the two wolves that eat the sun and the moon. There's some cool stuff. I love mythology.
You love like Norse mythology and stuff like that. Just mythology in general.
Unilaterally mythology, but Norse mythology has a close place in my DNA.
Yeah. But I mean, this comes out on April 20th, which is like 15 days away, 13 days away?
Still the number.
13 days away, which is awesome. I mean, I guess if you haven't pre-ordered it, go pre-order it. I don't really want to do
pre-order games. They don't need to.
Anyway. But yeah, I mean, hopefully I can't imagine it not being amazing. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Since I don't care about the franchise, I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it. If it ever goes on sale, I might pick it up. But since I'm not that dedicated to the character in the story, I'm just going to have to...
How about you, Jeff? What do you think? Is this the day one get for you?
This might be a day one. I usually like to wait a couple of days, let the Metacritic come in. But if it is as I expect it to be, a definite buy for me.
And then me, I prefer to just buy games the day they come out. I have a very... This is what I love to do. I love to talk about games. I love to experience games. So I feel like if I wait, I'm going to miss out on games like I have in the past. Like, there's tons of stuff, which we'll talk.
No spoilers.
Which we'll talk about a little bit later. That is the crappiest part, is that people don't play it as quick as I do. So I'm like,
I want to talk about this.
I got to wait 2 weeks before I can talk to somebody about this. But this is a day one get for me. I like the God of War series. I like the ARPG kind of stuff, and it seems like they've taken a lot of points from like Assassin's Creed, Origins, and even 15, Final Fantasy 15, to where they've made it more action, more quick, but with a more unique feeling rather than, oh, my Kratos is the same as your Kratos. This way I can be like, oh no, like, oh, you use the hammer, I use the axe the entire game kind of thing, like having that feeling of uniqueness, which I like, so. But,
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, on to, which I am extremely, extremely, extremely happy about.
Because this is we're exclusively doing the audio, let me just narrate for you. Hard eye roll. Please go ahead, present the next segment.
I have a Switch. I love my Switch. It's probably the best console I've ever had besides the PlayStation 1. Nothing will ever beat the PS1. But the Nintendo Switch it's the year of Nintendo. It's the rebirth of Nintendo, and I'm all for it. The Nintendo Labo. I have this pre-ordered. I have this paid off. I am so excited for this.
You know, I can hook you up with some cardboard boxes, right?
That is not the way it works, Jeff. That's not the way it works.
I mean, it's just really the complexity of it is the software itself.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Let me rephrase. I could give two craps less about the car. You're right. We got a whole stack of boxes right there I can rip into and make a guitar out of.
Yeah.
It's the fact of the matter that you can make so many different things with this.
Yeah.
And like me as someone who is having a kid and who loved like Legos and Connects and building stuff. And I'm not a huge fan of Minecraft, but like seeing some of the stuff that smarter people, more creative people than me make in Minecraft is mind-blowing. Like seeing the pixel art people make and like the new game types they make and stuff like that. But then to see this and be able to like, I can't wait to see what the creative people online make for this. I know you guys don't really know too much about it or anything, but they have the two sets. They have one that's the robot boxing set, or the robot set, and they have one that's like I forget what it's called, but it's like the essentials kit, where you get the fishing rod, you get the motorcycle, you get the keyboard and the piano, and you get the the little robots, the little Joy-Cons, the ones that we just saw fighting each other. You get stuff like that, but like, even as somebody who doesn't have a Switch, you can't tell me that this isn't a fantastic idea.
Oh no! Like, to me, this is like probably some of the best like marketing to your audience I feel like Nintendo has had in years. Like actually being in touch with things. This is like, to me, this just reminds me of those awful 90s commercials about toys where you could just keep building and adding on to them, you know, get all the pieces. That's kind of what this strikes me as something that's like would have surprisingly long longevity to it.
Yeah.
like I'm not denying it here. Yeah, Nintendo is killing it. Like
Yes,
they're doing real good.
They definitely are.
It's just the whole concept of like it's proprietary cardboard, man. Like
Okay.
Which means it shouldn't be that expensive, though, right?
It's $80.
But for all the different pieces, how much is it to get?
It's $80 per set.
Oof.
So $79.99 if you want to get the robot set, $79.99 if you want to get the essential set, kind of thing.
That's a little ridiculous, I think, if it's just cardboard.
It is, yes. Once again, yes, it is cardboard. But on the other hand,
Does each cardboard set come with the software to play?
it's one software that you boot up into different things. From what I understand, it's one software you boot up into different things, and as you connect stuff to it and everything like that, it's different.
Gotcha.
But okay, so now I have a question. So if you were to just take away the cardboard aspect of it, say that they were like, "Hey, listen, we have this game, quote unquote game, that has all of this stuff in it.
Yeah.
You can create everything. There's like, they basically walk you through the way just to debug and make your own stuff. Do you think that software alone is worth $80?
Well, I mean, all they've really shown of it is like you have the customization kind of stuff with the robots, and then you have the like you can string up instruments.
Yeah. Will you? There's another one. Like, will you just look up the Nintendo Labo guitar really quick?
Well, yeah, the guitar one is like you're wiring it up. Like I've tooled around in other like Unreal Engine and stuff like that, and the way dragging those lines between different actions to get like a workflow of how things it's a good introduction for beginner users.
Yes,
but it's not like they're not wiring stuff up so you can create your own game. It's just they're wiring it up so you can make little like jam session things for your kids.
It is. I would say it's a very rudimentary engine, basically.
Yeah.
So like, it's not Unreal. It's not Unity.
Yeah.
You know, it's not fucking CryEngine or anything like that. It's a very rudimentary engine. But I feel like if I had this as a kid, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be where I'm at. Basically, you know, like I would have put so much more time and effort into learning that. You know.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what it is for me. I'm glad that there is this way seems fun. Rather than just going to some website online, watching some dude who's like 47 explain to you, like, this is how you do this. This is what this does. You know, like this.
If you guys like my channel, please like and subscribe.
Yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. This is very much like this. I think this will help kids, even younger people, even like teenagers and stuff like that, get into like, oh, I had a lot of fun doing this. Maybe I should learn this skill. I think that it's not just a game; it is a way to teach someone a new skill.
Sure.
That's what I'm most excited about.
It'll definitely be a good introduction to like basic like coding thought processes of you have to go through the proper steps in order to get to where you want to go. But you know, there are currently other software tools designed specifically for children that are also out there. That I guess this is just going to be the most like readily accessible and mainstream version of it. But for me, it's not anything game changing. They haven't the stuff's already out there.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. I think that this one just disguises learning as a game, like in a very good way. You would have tricked me with this as a kid, you know, like where it's like you get to build your own stuff and then you get to do whatever you want to do. You know, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then like at the end of the day, you're like, I learned. Like,
No.
I don't play video games to learn.
I guess I'm just confused as why it's $80. So you pay a higher price than a normal release game, but then you also have to build the stuff to it to play it.
Yeah, I think.
I guess that's why I'm confused on why it's $80.
I think that it's just because of the peripherals with it, like the cardboard. Yes, it's Nintendo. You know, they can be like, "Oh, this is officially licensed." I love Nintendo,
Yeah.
But like one of our coworkers says, they will sell you the same thing 9 times if they can.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they do. That's what they're good at. I will pay more strictly because it's an official Nintendo product because I am like that. But I also think it's because of the potential stuff that you can do with this. That they're like, listen, like we are giving you more than just a game. Like I have no problem paying more for something if it's more than just X. You know, like if I get like 100 hours out of a game, like, oh my god, like I would have paid more than $60 for that game, you know, like. Yeah. And I think it's because of the fact that they have all of this stuff, all of the software built in, a lot more stuff to it that they're like $80. Granted, it's, you know, it's what? Probably gonna be like what, $20-$25 more than you would normally pay.
Yeah.
But I also feel like that same argument can be made with like collector's editions of stuff. You know, you're just paying for the extra bells and whistles and rickety racketa.
Yeah.
You know, like if there was a way I could just get the software for $60, I'd do that. You know.
Well, it's also it's similar to you remember in like the early 2000s there was like plug and play consoles where it's like a joystick that you would just plug in. It's kind of like that where it's a collection of games that's coming together in one bundle and a stack of cardboard.
Gotcha.
But it's a bundle of games. I can see why they're charging that much, but my hang up about it is just the proprietary perforation on a stack of cardboard.
See, my main thing is that
like if
that higher price point, I think it might be cool for a week, and then the next thing will come along. I think that's what's.
If it was a situation where it was like you could independently buy the proprietary. This is made by Nintendo. Or you could buy a cheaper like instruction booklet of how to take a stack of like, you know, a refrigerator box and make it your own.
Yeah.
Like your parents can draw out the stencils for you. You can cut it.
Yeah.
That kind of
if they had a parent to help you kind of thing.
If they had that kind of stuff, it would also just be more approachable for kids of like they could customize it to their own way. Like you know, on my robot, I want to put a little shark fin on it, so I have my parent draw that on the stencil.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. Like, I feel like I hope that they do that eventually. I hope that what they do with this. I said that like 6 times for some reason. I had like my system was rebooting. Yeah. That they treat this like DLC kind of thing. Like they update it. You know, like they like release like, hey, you pay $20 and now you get the next set kind of thing. You already have the game, but now you pay the $20 and you get the I don't know what else they could do, but like you get like the full band set. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing, and then like the game. It's like locked. You pay it up, unlocks it, but then it's like that. Then at that point, it's like, hey. You know, the cardboard that you have, you can repurpose that. Or, hey, if you guys have a box, go to this website, download these things, make the kids get more involved with it rather than just doing everything for them.
By no means do I know this person, but there's a guy on YouTube, Nakey Jakey.
Yes, fantastic channel.
Yeah, he makes excellent YouTube videos, and there was one where he was talking about the Labo, and he said that they should make a partnership a la like the early 90s. Like you know, in the early 90s when you would go to like Pizza Hut, they would give you a free.
That's actually a genius idea.
So you would partner up with Pizza Hut or whatever pizza chain, and they have proprietary boxes.
Yeah.
Of like
that would be very cool.
So you order a pizza and then you can play the game with it, and it'd just be a.
It like unlocks a special thing.
I mean, it'd also just be a smart marketing thing for Nintendo of like getting that nostalgia from like people who are now having kids that grew up in the 90s.
You're like, whoa, that would be very cool. We'll say that, or not even that. Like even Nintendo does like they have the Mario cereal, release the Labo cereal, you know, and it would just be like, hey, like once you eat the cereal, you can turn the box into a Labo thing, you know, like stuff like that.
Yeah, like my main thing is I would get hung up like paying $25 for each next installment for just cardboard. Like I would like to have something additional.
If it was like they had like there are different types of like I don't know what it's specifically called. It's like origami plastic or something like that, where it's plastic that is specifically designed to fold in specific areas. If they had stuff like that, where it was like you could buy a premium plastic version that it would last at least a little bit longer, so your dog wouldn't chew it up immediately. Or
it wouldn't get wet and get messed up.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Like, seems interesting, but it's another one of those wait and see how it pans out, because I just don't know how long it'll stay in the public eye for, basically.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, I guess you need to see the reception for it.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I am very excited for it, just strictly because of the fact it's very nostalgic for me. You know, it's just very much like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll play it for like a week and then be like, then something else will come out because I have gamer ADD.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But like, I would hope that some of these younger kids, that the creative types, people who are still playing Mario Maker and making these ridiculous levels, will latch onto this and put it out.
I think you mispronounced sadists.
The sadists who make the most impossible Mario levels ever.
Just watching some.
My question is, when does that come to Switch? But that comes out another day. But yeah, so for me, that's like I already have that bought and paid off. So I mean, of course, that's a day one thing for me. I imagine for both of you, it's
I don't even have a Switch.
Nor do I. So
I
hard
guess that's
pass. True. Yeah.
Because you guys suck.
I'm just gonna build a box fort.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna go dump.
I'm gonna build a box fort and then play my Labo inside of the box fort.
You just gotta make sure you don't cry too much, because then the tears will make the cardboard all
And it's true, and you won't be able to play your guitar anymore, or even your piano for that. But yeah, like I said, I can't wait for that, and that also comes out on the 20th.
Dang.
So it's like that and God of War on the same day. Don't get me wrong, God of War I'm gonna play first.
Relatively desperate games there. One is completely different.
Yeah,
from the
like
other.
I think that's funny too that they're on the same day, but nobody's talking about how like they're releasing the same day, because it's like two opposite ends of the spectrum.
Totally different markets.
Yeah, two totally different markets. People who want both of them will get both of them, kind of thing. You're not
13-year-olds around the world are divided between three decisions: play God of War, get ripped on some sick ganj, or play some Labo.
Oh my god.
decisions as a young teenager.
Classic.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully that comes out and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The next thing was going to be something that Jeff and I are very excited about. I don't know if you already even played the game personally.
Which one?
Stardew.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Well, it's not. We are just very excited about it. There's not like a release date or anything for it. We just want to talk about it because
Gotta get my parsnips, baby.
because we really like this game.
I did play a lot of Harvest Moon though, so
Then you'll love Stardew.
It's a very similar.
You'll love
concept.
Stardew.
okay.
I'm more so excited for
Multiplayer.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the multiplayer aspect of it. Strictly because of the fact that we all work together. We have everybody at our job.
We do?
Yeah, what?
Oh my god.
I don't just know you guys. You're not just two dudes that picked up off the street and was like, hey, you want to do a podcast? Everybody at work played it. Everybody at work likes it.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to be able to have like a town with you schmucks. You know?
Is that how it's supposed to work?
Yeah.
Like you
Everybody
occupy
has
like a town.
I think it's max 4 players.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like each player will the host player will have the farmhouse, and then the ancillary players will have a work cabin.
No,
Okay.
they
So they'll be
can
the
go and
workers
stay
on the
into.
farm.
Yeah.
But
And you just tend this farm together, basically.
Okay.
Instead of just one person doing it, you have 4. And there's different jobs you can do. Like there's farming, there's mining, there's fishing, there's fighting.
Yeah.
What else? Is that it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they have it set up that way so each person can do a different task.
Scavenging.
And then I guess animal husbandry too.
Yeah.
So I guess there's actually quite a bit of things you can do.
But they have also the Concerned Ape has talked on the blog for the thing of they've revamped certain parts of the gameplay too.
Oh yeah.
So they might have introduced
Something
whole
completely new.
elements to the game.
Yeah, because I
along
think
with the,
it's a major update, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not just like, oh, multiplayer. It's like, no, like it's like update 2.0 kind of thing.
Yeah, you can put hats on horses now.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Thanks. In your country, do you put hats on your horses?
No, you don't put hats on horses.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
But yeah, it's just Stardew Valley itself was just a very good game.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of people when it first came out thought it was excellent just as a single player experience, and it'll be really interesting to see how it changes and evolves with multiplayer.
See, when you said initially that they would all occupy a town, I was thinking a la SimCity, R.I.P. of course. You know, like how you would have your friends in neighboring towns and you could trade essentially between them.
Okay.
So I was thinking like each person would have an individual farm.
That
They
would-
could specialize more densely in trading.
Honestly, we don't.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, they haven't really released a lot on it.
Yeah, as far as we know, the way they plan on doing it is everyone's going to occupy the same farm.
Gotcha.
They might have increased the floor space of the farm, so it's like you can
Are
have.
those sock monkey socks?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to like interrupt. I just noticed. I've been here for how long? Like 2.5 hours at this point?
Yeah, that's right. My name's Jeff, and I'm a 78-year-old man.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail it. I just had to get that out there.
But Stardew Valley multiplayer. I'm pumped.
And then I think last time we checked, they said there was in the QA stage of the game. Like they're actively testing it, and they want Q1 of this year.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Which is what
It's in April. No,
By the end of this month, I guess.
I think it's by the end of April. I could be totally wrong, but
I hope I really do, because this I bought Stardew Valley, played it a little bit, and then purposely backed away from it because of the fact that I was I just didn't. I think at that time I was playing other things, and so it was very much just I've been waiting to get back into it because I heard multiplayer's coming out. I've been waiting to get back into it so that way we can all play multiplayer together, which I think would be fun, and especially if they have it cross-plat on Switch and PC. I'll buy it on my Switch, and be able to play it there and not have to worry about sitting in front of my computer all the time. I can just play it whenever I want to, really.
Well, it's also just having the ability to have your friends take over positions that they would want to play more than you do.
Yeah.
So it's you like fishing.
I love fishing in games.
I'm not really a big fan. So just having someone that can achieve those hashtag fishing goals.
Yeah.
Without me having to lift a finger or a rod to that, is pretty great.
Yeah, because I don't know, I'm not country at all. I don't even like going outside, but I'll fish in a game like Final Fantasy 15. I think I spent 60 hours fishing, just fishing. That's it.
my gosh.
Yeah, in Far Cry 5, I think I've spent probably about 30 hours just fishing, just hanging out. I don't know, something about it. I love it, and I'm good at it. That's what I did.
Funny.
So I did in WoW back in the day. That was my profession, was just fishing. I would just sit there and I just I'd watch a movie or something on one of my monitors, and then just watch my little bobber bob. As soon as it hit click it, you're pulling a fish.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
So as of March 13th, he said Stardew Valley multiplayer is in QA and bugs are being fixed at a very good pace. And then he says 4-player Stardew Valley LAN party at my house. It's really fun, but it still needs work. But the underlying network code is solid. Being in the same room yelling at each other is about what to do next, or if anyone has any stone is great and fun. Can't wait to share this, which is good. He seems like he is consistently working on it. Consistently, you can marry other players, which is huge. Because the big thing for marrying people is they give you gifts every day and stuff like that. So I wonder what the
bonus will...
buff you'll get for doing it, if certain things happen. It says he also says it will come to consoles, but will be available on PC, Mac, and Linux first. So, which I understand,
That's how I play, so...
Yeah, he says it's going to be free for everyone, which is also very good. Which is a very good way of doing it too.
It's the same way that the Terraria guys do it. Shout out to those guys.
Terraria is a fantastic game.
Shout out to
Hard pass.
Shout out to the Terraria devs. Shout out to Concerned Abe.
Yes, Terraria.
You're killing it, my dudes. I want to hug you.
You know, you didn't play Terraria? You didn't like it?
No, just I would like in the very early stages of Minecraft. I think I just got super burnt out on games like these, and so anytime a game mentions crafting, I almost steer away as quick as possible.
See, for me, I thought I have like 600 hours in Terraria. Like I fell in love with it. Me and my buddy, who's in the Air Force, he was stationed in, like Korea or something, and he like picked it up because it was on sale on Steam for like $4, and he bought me a copy, and he was like, "Hey, let's play this together." Yeah. And then for the next like 2 months, like that's all we did. Like every night, I would get off of work, go home, and stay up until like 6 in the morning. Yeah. Go to sleep, wake up at like 5, go to work, stay up until 6, and we play it all night together constantly. Yeah. Because
you gotta dig that drop shaft.
Dude, you do the elevator, man. You gotta dig that elevator. You gotta fight the wall of flesh.
Yeah, I have no clue what the.
You gotta get into hard mode. Then you gotta fight Skulltron and get into the dungeon. Dude.
We're talking about pro strats.
Dude.
Sorry.
Hashtag Terraria strats, my dude. No, it's a fantastic game. But yeah, once the Stardew Valley multiplayer doesn't really have a release date. It seems awesome. It seems fantastic. I'm gonna force Nixon to buy it for research purposes, so it doesn't really matter if he wants it or not.
We'll see.
No, it's not.
Oh my God, he's forcing his hand onto his credit card right now.
And then PAX is happening right now too. Yeah. Did they talk about anything? Let's look.
A lot of indie stuff that I saw.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was wondering if Stardew popped up at PAX.
Not that I'm aware of.
Let's see. So. Stardew Valley. Let's see if anything popped up there. I don't think it did either. I feel like we would have heard about that at that point. Somebody at work would have said something about it. Freaked out about it. Let's check. No, he just said there's a bunch of people doing cosplay, and he's very surprised by that.
No. Oh yeah, there was that Final Fantasy 15 and Shadow of the Tomb Raider collaboration thing.
Yeah, which is great. We talked about this a little bit before. Yeah, it's great and weird at the same time. I'm glad that I never finished 15.
Never played it, so.
It's cool that they want to treat it more like a living, breathing world rather than just a definitive one-player experience. Once you're done kind of thing. Yeah. I don't really care to talk about 15 though. I never finished it. I'm not somebody who can talk about it too much. As far as anything else out of PAX, I don't really think that anything else got revealed.
It's just they just have a huge space for indie games. That's all I'm aware of.
Yeah, I know it's a lot.
Not a whole lot of like AAA.
Guacamelee 2.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Guacamelee 2 looks good. Nothing else. Unfortunately, nothing that I am personally excited about. I am hyped about as far as our train is concerned.
Hype train.
I feel like since PAX added East, West,
South, yeah.
I feel like it's not necessarily the place to go for big announcements necessarily, but it is kind of like that whole celebration.
I would say it's more like panels and showcases and stuff like that.
A lot of companies hold up to like E3 or something.
Well, yeah, E3 is right around the corner too. Right. Is that January?
So you might as well just hold off.
What are the dates for
January?
June. Sorry.
But yeah, like since you have, so many eyes on E3, it just makes sense just to wait until you have the biggest audience as possible.
Yeah, June 12th through June 14th is E3. Yeah. So it's like 2 months away, right?
Yeah.
It's like at this point you hold all your all your reveals.
What a lot of companies do is they'll hold their reveals until E3, and that way they can make their announcements so people are ready to start buying during the holiday season.
Yeah, which I feel like, I guess maybe I've just been paying more attention the past couple of years, but I feel like that's a relative. E3 back in the day, from what I remember, used to be like games that are coming like next year after next. But now they're like, oh no, we've been working on this game for 4 years. It's coming out September. You're like, oh shit.
Like, yeah. That's a lot of the way they've been doing it. At least recently, is they'll have a big conference or something, or just like an independent.
Yeah.
Like, we're just gonna drop this.
Yeah. Well, like to talking about E3, which is the next thing that I want to segue into, is the apparently Borderlands 3, which I feel like everyone in the room should be excited about. I don't care who you are, if you're listening, you should be hyped because Borderlands is one of the best games ever fucking made. I mean, you can look it up if you want to.
Clamber down to the old Celebration Station.
Dude, I am...
Hike up your high water pants and step over that big old gap and onto the hype train.
Yeah, like there isn't... Okay. There isn't like any official stuff for it, but like there have been a few things that got leaked on Twitter about the fact that I think they said they were going to announce something on January 10th, like 2 days before E3. So
you said January again.
June. I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep saying January. June 10th. That they want to like surprise announce it before E3, so that whenever people get to E3, that's what they're clamoring for. Because I imagine Gearbox is going to have a booth at E3. It's dumb for them not to. Gearbox and 2K are both going to be there more than likely.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, hopefully that's true, because that's like one thing that I've been asking for since Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 3.
Again, not to be Debbie Downer, but Borderlands just wasn't my cup of tea to begin with.
Well, like just the Borderlands series in general.
Or
Yeah.
first-person shooters.
Just the series in general.
You're wrong. Your opinion's wrong. You should feel bad about
Sorry,
it.
I'm just... Loot shooters just wear me out. So I'm like...
Oh, well,
I just like to...
I get that. The grind is real.
Not to interrupt or anything, but my watch just told me to keep it up because apparently I'm so excited talking about this stuff that it thinks I'm working out at the moment. I just wanted to, that is my life. I talk about video games and I have my heart rate increases to the point where I burn 32 calories in 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So there's that.
That's ridiculous. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's just the loot shooter aspect of it never spoke to me.
I got you. It's understandable. It is a lot of grinding. I liked it because of the humor.
Yeah,
and like,
it was funny.
Yeah,
don't
like,
get me wrong.
The writing in the game was phenomenal.
Yeah, but the moment-to-moment gameplay for it just wasn't what I was looking for. And of course, as I've gotten like older and less time, it's like I'm very picky about games now. I don't know.
Hey, that's understandable. Like you said, you're older. You don't have you're not that 15-year-old kid who can sit there and play a game.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, like I have to work. I have to pay bills. No, I have to do all sorts of other stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. So I've just been a little more choosy on what I spend my time in, and a lot of it is very single player, linear shooters. Is a lot of it, but
well, there's a lot to be like excited about that's coming up in the future. But so now I want to transition to the next part of the train, where like I guess stuff that's happening for us now, like the current games that are out. You know, not talk about it too much because we kind of ran long because there's so much to talk about with the Labo and everything like that, all the stuff that we're nerding out about. But
yeah.
the like currently, I'm playing Far Cry 5 and Persona 5. I know that Jeff just picked up Far Cry 5. Nixon wants to get it, so he won't spoil anything.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get it. I'll see what I can do. You
have an Xbox, right?
Yeah.
I can just give you my account information and you can download and play it.
Now, you've probably heard of this already, but there's a grizzly bear named Cheeseburger.
Yes, I heard of that.
And there's a panther named Peaches.
Yeah.
I got Peaches.
I also think I will be playing Far Cry 5 way differently than most people.
And will you tell people, the 8 people who are listening to this, how you want to play Far Cry? For those of you who don't know, Far Cry is a first-person, like, open-world game where you're trying to take down a cult, basically.
Yeah.
They're like a doomsday cult, and they're beating people and murdering people and doing all this other stuff. You play as a deputy.
Yeah.
The rookie, they call you throughout the entire thing. You play as the deputy who goes there to serve and arrest the leader. But, oh no, shit turned sideways. So Nixon, please tell them how you intend to play this game, because I looked at you like you were an idiot. Never told me this.
I have a very much love-hate relationship with Ubisoft. I don't like them because of the amount of HUD that is on screen at any given time. I know. What we're watching right now doesn't have a whole lot of HUD. But when you get to start marking enemies and all the objective markers and stuff, it's like, all right, this is starting to get a little too much. What I love about Ubisoft is in just about every one of their games, they give you the option to turn off certain aspects of the HUD. Mm-hmm. So, because I honestly think having the enemy markers is way too easy, way too immersion breaking.
I'm not talking about that. Like, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the weapons you want to use and if you play.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that too. But like, so I just want, I'd much rather explore the gigantic map they have through, the first person perspective rather than just all these markers around. So most of it will be turned off. The weapons I'll be using are a revolver and a shotgun, maybe a hunting rifle for when you need to hunt.
Because he's going for the authentic
deputy loadout in Montana.
Yeah, like I love the fact that you can play. I play it the opposite. I run around with a flamethrower and a grenade launcher and a giant hand cannon and just melted everything.
And that's why I like the Far Cry games, is because there's so many options for you to tackle it in different ways.
Well, if you guys want me to, I'm gonna swerve even further off of this dirt track. My current loadout is a silent sniper rifle and a hunting bow.
Yeah.
So I'm sneaking around.
I am the shadow.
I'm picking off people. And
I will say I finished it. I marathoned it in a weekend.
Dang.
It took me about 30 hours to do. I was playing at like my own pace. I don't have much of a social life besides you guys, but I took my time in doing what I wanted to do, and I loved it. Yeah. The game was phenomenal.
It seems to me that critically this game is getting dogged on for some
I don't know
reason.
why.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple ideas why, but I don't want to run us too long. Mm-hmm. But the user reviews are through the roof. Like, everybody loves this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody, like, YouTubers seem to love it. Actual, like, user reviews on Metacritic, everybody's in love with it. But the critics, for some reason, are just not liking it.
Well, I mean, again, another can of worms not to open up, but there's always kind of been a grain of salt you have to take with anyone, like a professional game reviewer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You always kind of have to take their input with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Well done. That was a great workout.
Just get a little excited.
15 minutes and 12 seconds. I burned 47 calories.
Wow. I mean, it does help that you're doing jumping jacks that entire time.
Yeah, right. No, the last thing I'll say about Far Cry before we move on to the next one. The guy who plays the father, Greg Bryk, B-R-Y-K? Burke. Yeah, Greg Burke.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anytime he was on screen,
it
made me physically uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
That's how,
he was
intense he was.
Yeah, the character of Father is a freaky weirdo.
Yeah. Well, just the voice acting and these characters, like the siblings and stuff like that, was phenomenal. That's my favorite thing about this game. Everything else was awesome, but they presented a good story and these characters that you kind of sympathized with, but really hated at the same time. It was good. They do stuff like that. The video we're watching, it shows a guy chained up and he has a cross through the back of his head, basically. Yeah. They do stuff like that, but then to me it seems like they started from honest intentions that it just got warped at a point and they just went with it.
And I'm really glad they were able to find that Far Cry villain formula, but match it with a very familiar setting, and that juxtaposition wasn't too much. Apparently it's been received very well.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. And then Nixon, you're still playing
Sea of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves, yes.
Yeah. It's I grew up in Dallas, live in Austin now. Mm-hmm. So right now Sea of Thieves is the game just to keep in touch with the friends back home.
Oh, okay.
But every time I log onto that game, I have just a blast. It's super simple. I don't have to worry about getting gear or anything. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like it's great for what it is. And I know, but I also used the Game Pass. I didn't buy it for $60.
That's true. For the Game Pass, I feel like it's a great game. But
Yeah.
on the other side of that spectrum, I was so excited for Sea of Thieves. You guys dealt with me for like a week before the game came out at work,
Yeah.
where I was like freaking out and like singing sea shanties and everything.
Yeah.
I love pirates. I have the Jolly Roger tattooed on me. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
But then the game came out and it was fun for like 3 days, until I was like, oh, I'm recycling the same stuff over and over. Yes, like the enemies get harder. Yes, every once in a while you'll find a player who's an asshole and tries to kill you. But I firmly believe that it's an alpha disguised as a game.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way a lot of game development is going now. So like you'll have that base concept,
Yeah.
and then they release that, and then over that next year they'll iterate on it until they, actually have more fleshed out game mechanics. But I mean that's just a fact of the times now.
Yeah.
It's a lot different than it was even 5 years ago. So
That's true.
Well, it's a kind of a crappy way to look at it, but if you can sell something to someone without actually having to finish it,
yeah,
there's
I guess that's true. Yeah, if you can get that money before,
Yeah.
and use that to, I guess as long as that money is used to further develop the game,
Yeah.
I am okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the issues that we see is that these early access games, they get put out, people pay money for them, and then 4 years later they finally officially come out.
Yeah, my thing is like this game works. There's only a couple bugs that I've encountered.
Yeah.
And
Visually, the game is beautiful. Too.
visually,
I will say
it's
that.
so great to look at.
Yeah.
But like the fact that it just works, I can just jump in and have no issues, and then just romp around for an hour or so.
I guess it's true.
It's super solid and fun with friends.
Yeah.
So that's
I will
the
say
reason
some of the most fun I had was playing with you guys whenever we had a full squad of 4
Yeah.
running around doing stupid stuff. Like it was probably some of the most fun I've ever had.
And I was actually playing last night, and we were approaching one of the skeleton forts, but there was already a galleon parked, and we were like, "Were these guys going to be cool?"
Yeah.
We kind of parked up next to them, and they just said "ahoy" like in the quick chat, and then manned the cannons again in the quick chat. So I jumped on their boat and was shooting cannons.
Oh, okay.
So like we were able to take it down together and not kill each other. So that was pretty fun.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad that there is stuff like that to do too. I think it's going to be one of those games for me that I'll play whenever the next content update comes out. Play it for a while.
Yeah.
Hop out of it, come back, because I subscribe to Game Pass no matter what. It's a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you said, I'm not paying $60 for it.
Right.
I can't really complain too much. But
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff doesn't have an Xbox.
No, I do.
Do you? Do you?
Yeah.
Have you played it?
See these?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. I got an Xbox. Yeah. No. I got
I don't have Game Pass.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's good. I'm excited to see the development of it. What's going to happen there? Just so that way, hopefully moving forward, they continue to update. They add some stuff to make everything different. My biggest thing is that my pirate is the exact same as your pirate. I don't like that.
What do you mean?
Like there's just we look different, but that's it. That's the
Oh,
only
gotcha.
difference.
See, that's why I like the game, because I'm not grinding for a better sword or a better pistol. Or,
I guess that's true. Yeah.
I can just jump in without having to worry about any of that.
Yeah, I wish
Well,
that
they already have that grind inherent in the game of finding the treasure.
Yeah, but like
So
it's
that- I mean-
secondary.
Yeah, but that could be a way for them to kind of continue the life cycle of the game. Is you have it where you take the inherent grind of the game and you just make it where maybe not necessarily having different stats for your sword, but just different like aesthetic, like a golden cutlass instead
they have stuff like that too. My thing is that there's 3 factions. All 3 factions are not the same, but you're doing the same missions for those 3 factions. Like you're going to a place, fighting skeletons, getting one of their skulls. You're going to a place, finding this buried treasure, picking it up. You're going to a place and finding animals and bringing it back. That's it. I wish that they would have a little bit more variations in the missions to where it's like, hey, listen, like snakes. Like, oh, there's an island full of snakes. go wipe out all the snakes, go kill 50 snakes on the island, come back and we'll pay you.
Well, it's also like
stuff like that.
If they could increase the the pirate aspect of it, of like you have a naval ship that's passing by with a really big supply of bananas.
PVE for me is a thing. Like
it would be nice to have some
PVE ships sailing around. Yeah, and then of course you have like your Spanish galleons that are like loaded to the friggin' teeth.
Yeah.
But they
get a sweet
primo
cash
loot.
on there.
Yeah, like stuff like that. I would love stuff like that rather than Nixon and I running away from people because they want to kill us when we got stuff. I'd love to be like, hey, listen, there's a Spanish galleon over there. Like, let's go. Like, let's take our two things and form them together. Another thing for me would be like a clan system too, like making a pirate clan. And then being able to have like all of your people flying under the same banner. But I feel like that's all going to come later on, hopefully.
Yeah.
So
we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
As it is right now, though, like I still am enjoying it thoroughly. So
that's good. And I mean, like I said, like can't really complain about it too much. You didn't pay for it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I paid $10 for it.
Yeah. But then I mean, I'm playing Persona 5, but Persona 5 is too much to talk about. I haven't even finished it yet. I'm like 10 hours in just at the first dungeon. But Jeff is playing Wolfenstein 2.
Beautiful game.
I haven't even. I tried a little bit. It was too hard for me.
I absolutely love the new Wolfenstein series.
Absolutely.
So much.
They're fan. The first Wolfenstein game is probably one of my favorites.
The New Order?
Yeah, New Order. Yeah, New Colossus is, like I said, like I tried it. Not to be like a whiny kid or anything like that. But yeah, like I was dying every 5 minutes, and it just took me out of the fun that I was having.
Yeah.
Of the
See,
game.
It had been a while since a shooter like actually challenged me because regenerating health and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But what I love about Wolfenstein and games like Doom is that now they're starting to encourage you that you're not invincible, but you got to be ballsy. Like, you got to jump in there in the middle of everything and go nuts.
That's a key element of the new Wolfenstein is like, you have armor, you have health. Your armor can get chiseled away pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So can your health. But if you're, like, running in there super quick, blasting a couple of dudes, diving out of the way, hiding behind cover, sneaking around them, because they introduced the halfway through...
Spoiler alert.
Halfway through the game, they introduced these new like movement mechanics that will like allow you to get to different parts of the environment. Personally, I chose the constrictor harness, which you don't know about.
Constrictor harness? No.
Yeah, but basically, it allows you to take your rib cage and constrict it into an area the size of your head, so you can fit through like pipes.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome. It's just slithering out of a pipe, strangling a Nazi, and then slithering back.
But you have to pick one of them. So I picked the...
Oh, okay.
I picked the shoulder barge one when I originally played it.
Yeah.
So your body tenses up rock hard and you can bust through concrete and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So there's like distinct ways to play this game.
Oh, yeah.
There's another one that elevates you. So like basically puts stilts out underneath you and you can get up higher.
Yeah, there's on a lot of the later levels, there's like catwalks and stuff that you can't get to unless you have those.
Oh wow!
Give it a shot.
I will have to marathon through it once I find time between the other games that I'm playing.
Plus, it's also like the tone of this game is like if Tarantino directed an '80s movie.
Yeah.
Well, what's so fantastic.
I mean,
is it supposed to be? Is it? I know like it's a more dark game.
It's tongue in cheek still. Quite.
Is it still?
Oh yeah.
I played the first beginning of it, and spoiler alert. Whenever Caroline gets murked, and you get her suit and stuff like that, like it seems very like dark humor, like that because that whole scene where she like has the axe, that crazy, what's her name, the
triangle,
she has like, and like her daughter is there, she's like talking about how she's fat and she's gonna slap her and shit.
Yeah, this chick right here.
Her, she's crazy.
Triangle.
Great villain though.
Yeah. That's the super interesting like element of it is it's this alternate version of historical events. It's this like everything is relatively familiar, but it's just warped in just the wrong way, where it's like, this is clearly wrong.
Yeah.
And it allows the player to kind of riff off of that, and like you get to see like, because this is like in the 1960s, so like technically I think the Summer of Love or something should be happening right now, but it's the heyday of the Nazi Empire.
Yeah, and there's a ton of great moments, like the one in the milkshake bar that I feel like are just taken not directly, but it feels like it's directly taken from a movie or something I've seen before. It's just the tone is just so spot on throughout the entire game.
Well, it's also like throughout the entire game, I just get the feeling of you have these cutscenes of you're talking to a Nazi commando or something. You know, you're having to infiltrate into there. Like at the current point I'm at, I'm doing spoiler alert. You are interviewing as an actor to play yourself in a movie, and you're auditioning to Hitler himself.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So like during the entire scene where like Hitler will actively mock you as a player of like, you're not playing it right, you're not insane enough, you're not because BJ Blazkowicz is
he's what do they call him, Billy Danger or something like that?
Terror Billy.
Terror Billy, that's what it is.
Yeah, he like that whole time, and this is pretty much true of every event in the game. I'm thinking to myself, you have no idea who you're fucking with. Like the amount of people that I have gone through just to get to this point.
Yeah.
And like the just the brutal takedowns of like taking an axe and chopping a Nazi's head off.
Well, how far you played it longer, or have you finished it?
Oh yeah, I finished both of them.
Well, how long would you say the game is?
I mean, I feel like for a first playthrough, it might take you 15 to 20 hours.
Oh, so it's not just like BioShock Infinite. Just to I was very upset with that game because I feel like it just ended very suddenly. Like all of a sudden, you were at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? It's like the game was fantastic. I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like you were just like at the end of the game.
Right.
So like this one, you feel like there's a proper amount of build up to the end.
Yeah. Okay. Like you always know what the goal is, obviously, because you're overthrowing the Nazi Empire, but you never know where that goal is necessarily going to take you until you play through the story.
I got you.
And it's fantastic. Absolutely recommend it.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best shooters on this
like I'll have to force myself. I'll have to play on easier difficulty so that way I can actually beat it this time.
It's so good.
And I guess I got more upset because I don't think I'm bad at games.
Yeah.
Like I play games for a living. But this, it's very much I was very upset that I couldn't complete it.
Yeah, but it'll put hair on your chest. That's for sure.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I'll be a real man after I play it.
And just what I love about the game the most too is like just the indignation of BJ Blazkowicz of just like anytime someone's like, oh, you're just a terrorist that wants to that's just fighting Nazis. No, he is so angry at the Nazis, like that. There's a reason
there's another level of anger.
He is a anger machine that is like,
and a patriot though.
He's so patriotic
and an American patriot.
There's even a nice little Easter egg about Mesquite, Texas in this one.
Isn't that where he's from, right?
Yeah, that's where he's from. That's also where originally. I'm gonna mess up. Yeah. That's where they were originally based. Was Mesquite, Texas.
I didn't know that they were originally based.
If you're a true patriot, you're just put on your cleanest pair of American flag underpants and
crack open a Bud Light, and blare the national anthem.
Blow dry your mullet so it breathes freely in the breeze.
And then just play this. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The constrictor harness is just like.
There's just
as you heard it here, go ahead and go get that because apparently it's on sale a lot too.
It's on sale. I got it half price.
The hype is real.
Even the collector's edition I've seen for this going for $40.
Oh yeah.
Which is, if it's as good as you say, collector's edition I think comes with a little Terror Billy figure.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I mean, as far as stuff goes. That's all I had today. There's a couple things that we still want to talk about, but I feel like we're running a little long. So that way,
We could probably just, hold on to those.
Yeah, I mean,
because
I
we
feel-
have run a little bit long. but-
yeah, we've run longer than we originally wanted to, which isn't bad, But at the moment, I feel like is that animated? Never mind. I'm sorry. In the trailer for Wolfenstein 2 that we're watching, there's an animated chameleon.
One of the
He's
guys.
tripping on LSD.
Yeah.
Oh,
one of the
okay.
guys. In the first game, you choose between the two guys.
Yeah.
If you choose him, in the second one, he is continuously taking
LSD.
Like
Okay.
you know how LSD comes in like little like paper.
Yeah, of course.
No, I don't know that.
Oh yeah, no, me either.
He finds an entire sheet of them.
Oh wow, he's just taking him the whole game. Oh my god, just biting off hunks of this paper.
So he is out of his mind.
I mean, we got about 5 minutes, I'd say, before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about or harp on at the moment?
Not really.
Anything I was going to jump into would be like
Yeah, take a
20-minute
little
talk.
talk. Yeah, understandably.
I feel like it's a good place to stop for right now.
I guess for me, I mean, we did it.
Yeah,
we did it.
This is the first
Episode 1, baby.
We'll iron out the format as we go along.
Yeah, as we go. I know it's like the first one we were excited to talk about a bunch of
But we
different
just
stuff.
really wanted to get sit down and actually record the first
Yeah,
one.
yeah, and so thank you to anybody who listens to this. I mean, you can tweet at us at the Hype Train PC.
Oh yeah.
We have a email as well as the Hype Train PC at gmail.com. You can email us, tweet at us, and just tell us that we suck or that we're awesome or anything you want us to talk about. Please let us know. We have other stuff that I'm in the process of setting up that I haven't actually set up yet, so.
Working on the art and the logo.
Yeah, all of that stuff. As far as like what we're gonna have like a Facebook and an Instagram, it's all gonna be at the Hype Train PC. So I guess if you want to check that out whenever this comes out, I'll have it up and running by then.
Yeah. For now, I imagine we'll just be posting on SoundCloud, but eventually we'll get a website and then
that all comes. Yeah. I'm not sure how SoundCloud works either, like what your name has to be, but look up the Hype Train PC, anything like that, and I'm sure you'll find it too.
Yeah.
We'll just see how many if people listen to it at all, and then we'll iron out the details.
We'll see.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
That's true, but
upon this episode, we build our church. That podcast.
Yeah, Jesus, it took a turn. But yeah, no, thank you guys. I have a personal Twitter. It's Brandon Bomber LP. If you guys want to tweet at me for some weird reason.
Mine's Joseph_Ethan on Twitter.
My pseudonym is GH Kindmind on Twitter.
GH Kindmind.
GH Kindmind. Don't try and find me anywhere else.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening.
Catch us the next time the train comes into town.